Hello guys, I'm your friend developer Dev trying to solve coding related problems. So today we will be learning and understanding uh, how to get better feedback or better outcome while getting shortlisted for SD role, uh, means resume preparation. So let's dive into it. So Pranav Malik is a previous batchmate of Coding Ninja. Uh, He had worked on Microsoft for its cloud platform uh, and also
I have
worked at
also
Table.
worked as a SD2 and PayPal earlier to developing a new cloud service role and there I was working on developing a new cloud service from scratch, right? And then earlier to that, I have also worked as a SD2 and PayPal. So PayPal is a payments company. Everybody might be aware about
So I would be doing into 2x for faster completion.
that. They call it the PayPal Mafia, where Elon Musk was the founder. So there also I have worked as an SD2, right? And that profile was kind of a full stack role. So where I was working in the payment gateway team of the PayPal, right? And prior to that, I have worked with Nagarro. So Nagarro is a service-based company, right? And prior to that, I started my work with Indus Valley like Partners. So Indus Valley Partners is like was a campus placement for me, right? And the company was into hedge fund and trading. So they used to kind of work in the with all the hedge funds around the world, and they used to develop trading strategies, right? So it was more of a quantitative developer role, and that profile actually came to our kind of campus, and I was fortunate enough to get selected in that. And by fortunes, as we say, the package was very good in Indus Valley Partners when I started. So I was getting around let's say 15 as the in total, so which included 12 as the base, and rest was like the you can say bonuses. And if you take the total compensation, it was around 25. Right, rest was the ESOPs and the stocks that they used to offer and the bonuses, various bonuses. So what happens in a trading company is that if your strategy works, so there is an annual bonus or performance bonus also. So that they give. So that bonus is component is very good. So that was around 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs that they used to give. So that EC total compensation was around 25 lakhs, right? So this was a campus placement. Okay, and the beauty of this is that I worked in Indus Valley Partners for close to 2 years. Oh, sorry, 2 months. Sorry, 2 years. Sorry, 2 months. And in 2 months only that I left that company and I went to a service based company. Okay, now Indus Valley Partners was kind of a very premier company, and it was a product-based organization, and it was kind of a sought-after organization. Okay, because quantitative like developers or researchers are paid the highest, right, in the tech industry, right? Or if you want to say that that field is very growing, right? So basically, from a product-based company, I switched to a service-based company, and that too in Nagarro, right? So Nagarro, in Nagarro, I was getting around 8 lakhs, right? If you compare to Indus Valley Partners, nothing. But there were some personal reasons behind my switch. Basically, I was kind of feeling not very well in working with in Indus Valley Partners, right? The timings were very odd, and moreover, the work culture was very was not suitable as per me, right? So because of some personal reasons, I decided that I should move away from the company, and then whatever offer I had, so I also had Nagarro's offer. So whatever offer I had, I just switched to that, right? So Nagarro, when I started with Nagarro, so Nagarro was kind of a typical service-based company, but kind of a good service-based company, right? So they had a training period, and they had everything that that a usual service-based company do. So they used to train you on random technologies, and you would assign you random projects based on the technology that you have, right? It's a completely different process for me, right? It was a completely different process for me, to be honest. And if I just talk about, so after some time, I was chosen in like Nagarro Center for Excellence program. So it is kind of a premier, like it is given to the premier performing people in that company, where they train you on the latest technology. So I was fortunate enough to get trained into artificial intelligence, big data, right? And then I got significant projects in that, right, in big data or AI. In some time only, I was kind of I went to like you can say Southeast Asia as well as Russia to deliver some projects and to work on some projects, right? So that kind of exposure I got into Nagarro, right, being a service-based company. So that was kind of it was kind of a very good experience. But eventually, I thought that I worked there in Nagarro for close to like 1 year and 8 months. After some point of time, I felt that I should move to a product-based organization once more. So because obviously, like I needed.
So he has got a good package from the start of 15 lakhs. Then he went for 8 lakhs for personal reasons of too narrow. Then what? Let's see.
Needed more depth and more clarity and more like work, whatever I was just doing. So at that time when I was making a switch, I still remember that I was fortunate enough to crack 40 plus companies, right? So there is a separate video with coding ninjas only with that, and there are some interview experiences which you will find on Code Studio having my name. Okay, so you can just see that. And so when I just switched, so I took a PayPal because they were offering at a, like in my in 1 year or 9 months only total experience, they were offering a SD2 role for to me. So I took PayPal's SD2 role, and it was kind of a you can say that 200% hike that I received, right? More than that, we can say 200 to full, like more than that, I would say that not 200.
So 8 lakhs, 200%, 200 upon 100. So can we say 100 means double? 200 means, let's pop out the calculator. 200% of what? 8 double. How do we calculate the hike? 200% of 8 lakh is what? 8 lakh divided by 200%. 1%, okay, 100% is equals to 8 lakh. So 200 is equals to 16 lakhs plus 8 plus 16 lakh. Okay, I did some mistake. 60 is what? Plus 1, 2, 3, 8 lakh. Okay, 24 lakhs. So he came up to 24 lakhs.
100 for like 300 or 400% hike that I received when I switched from Nagarro to PayPal, right? And then well, after working with like PayPal for close to like an year, I worked with Oracle, right? I went to Oracle and I also worked with them for a year. Then after working with Oracle for close to a year, then I switched to Microsoft because Microsoft was kind of closer to me, closer to my house actually. So Microsoft has an office in Noida and I am living in Delhi. So obviously it makes sense that yeah, so you can just hop around the office, right? And you can stay with the family as well. So there were some personal decisions that was involved beside me choosing Microsoft. I was fortunate enough to crack Google as well and Uber as well, but as the location was Bangalore, so I decided that like I should stay with my family, and that was the sole. That's some there were some priorities that I had. So this is kind of my like professional journey, right? And so it's been a very kind of a roller coaster ride, if I may say it, right? Reflecting back, if I just say. So yeah, I've been I have worked with all types of like company, be it like main majority of the company, e-commerce, be it payments, be it like big tech, right? Be it cloud services, and be it service-based company, be it consulting. I have also worked as a like a product manager or program manager as well, right? So yeah, these kind of things I have done, and moreover, my association with the Coding Ninjas. So actually, I am an alumni of Coding Ninjas, and I took like a course from them around, I guess it was 2017. And that time, Coding Ninjas used to conduct classes, you can say on site. So not online, but on site. So they used to run in-person batches. So I was very fortunate enough to be taught by Nidhi Agarwal ma'am, who is like a very core member of founding team of Coding Ninjas, and she's still with Coding Ninjas. And we talk also, and so she was kind of a very she like ignited my passion for coding, and she provided me the kind of guided path towards like programming and data structures and solving problems. And that is why like that is where like I was fortunate enough to like kind of get all the things that I'm getting right now. So yeah,
So what I think is basics are quite important and others are add-on. So what comes into basics? In my mind, basics comprises of DSA, operating system, SQL, and what else? Networking. Yes, these three. What are add-ons? Web or app AIML. I think so. AIML is not part of HTML, but let's take it into consideration. Uh, in add-ons, what else does it come? Open source, personal project.
that is where I have been associated with Coding Ninjas. After my course, I also became a TA, right? I was teaching assistant. I did TA for 2 successive batches, that is 6 months, and then after TA, like I became a mentor with Coding Ninjas. So I since you can say 5+ years, I have been mentoring with Coding Ninjas, and it's been a wonderful ride, to be honest. And I have learned a lot with interacting with students, mentoring them, right, and solving the problems. Like say talking about the changing industry trends, right, talking about how to crack different companies, how to crack multiple offers, or different types of things I've been doing with Coding Ninjas. And I've been very fortunate that Coding Ninjas has given me this platform again to share my insights on resume tips that can shortlist your profiles for SD roles. Okay, so that is where like I would just like to start the like topic. So if I just say that like if I just talk about resume, so see the thing is that a resume is a very critical piece of paper that just describes you, right, in a nutshell, that what are your achievements, why should you be hired for a particular position, that is
Ability to communicate or leadership roles you have done. I mean, I can add YouTube and social media presence in this build in public. but there is a
Is
chance that you become a developer relations person like Kunal. Hmm, what else? If I think, I mean, I am impressed by few people. One of it is Harki Rath Singh. He did DSA, then did open source. I mean, he did freelancing as well, but I don't want to count. Let's count this as personal project. Freelance, personal project. DSA, freelance, personal project, open source. What else? Building public, YouTube. So all of this on getting added up. Oh my god, what's happening? Open source, what else? Created a success story. So I am trying to follow this success story. This person, the same fellow, Pranav Malik, has done the same. He was into DSA, then into coding ninjas, and his work experience was his ability to communicate as well as his ability to work on project. So work experience builds this. Building public is quite missing.
getting advertised.
So
What is different in you, right? So that is where resume becomes the utmost
what is resume about?
achievements. Why should you be hired for a particular position that is getting advertised? What is different in you, right?
What is different in you related to the pro- role advertised? This is what I
So that
learned
is where
now.
resume becomes the utmost. It kind of becomes the utmost important piece of paper that is there, right? Now, if we talk about that, what are some resume tips, right? So basically, if I just talk about that, how much time an average HR recruiter or a recruiter would give to your resume, that is around 20 seconds, okay, or 10 seconds or 15 seconds, or between 10.
Average screening time max 20 seconds.
To 20 seconds. That is the average time that the recruiter would be adhering to your resume, right? In those 20 seconds, you have that only 20 seconds to create an impression, right, in front of the recruiter or maybe your manager or the hiring manager or the director. Okay, firstly you need to get shortlisted and then we can just see. So there are some scenarios that I want to cover, okay, before we progress on the resume tips, that how can you improve your resume. Okay, so we get the time for an average resume scanning is what, around 20 seconds. Okay, so that is the thing, and resume is the only piece of paper that is defining you, that is defining your candidature for a particular job. Okay, or that is saying or speaking itself that yeah, I should be hired and I should be considered firstly for a particular position if that is advertised. Okay, that is the power of resume. Okay, and you should not take resume very lightly. It's a very important piece of paper. Okay, now what happens? So basically what happens is that let's say that a company advertises its job, let's say Microsoft only, or let's say any company advertises a job, a vacant job. Okay, so if they will have some requirements, okay, they will have some requirements and they will say that this kind of technology is the desirable experience. Okay, you have to if you have this technology, if you have worked with this technology for
Oh my god, I have got zoomed out.
this kind of job or vacant job. Okay, so if they will have some requirements, okay, they will have some requirements and they will say that this kind of technology is the desirable experience. Okay, you have to if you have this technology, if you have worked with this technology for some period of time, it would be desirable in a candidate. Now what you can do in this kind of situation, so what I used to do personally, see, the thing is that if I wanted to apply at different companies, I would be making separate resumes. I
Separate resume for separate roles and company. Different requirements because of different requirements. What else? What it is of concern. Technology, keywords in post. job post, add same keywords in
I
job
used to make
post.
separate resumes for a particular company. Let's say that Microsoft is working heavily on C Sharp. Okay, once you come inside Microsoft one day or on your first day only, or let's say eventually you will work on C Sharp because C Sharp is designed for them. So you have to have C Sharp experience in your resume, mentioned in your resume. All you need to say that I have the knowledge of C Sharp, right? Or I have the knowledge of Java and all those things. So firstly, you should see what all are the desirable tech stack that is mentioned over the advertised job, right? Now what if you just see that what are the desirable tech stack and what are the desirable experience, you have to include that project in your resume, showing your capability that yeah, you have developed that kind of and delivered that kind of project, or you worked on a project that is like in that specific technology stack. Let me give you an
Okay,
example. Let us say that if a company is hiring for a Java developer, okay, and the
specify
desirable experience is
tech stack they want.
that they want someone that has worked on Java Spring Boot and microservices for 2 years or 2+ years. Now, in your resume, you should include heavily the word Java and as well as Java Spring Boot and microservices. Okay, you should also have some projects that is showing your capability that you are very comfortable in Java Spring Boot, as well as you have like exposure to microservices architecture. You are well aware about them. Okay, so that keywords would get picked and you will be assigned an appropriate score. Okay, we'll come to that how resume processing is done, but for now we will stick to what you need to include in your resume. Okay, I will also make you I will also show a sample resume also. Okay, after some time I'll just also show a sample resume. Okay, and so that you can also make that kind of resume when you want to. So other than that, what we need to do is see, the thing is that now some people will say that we should also only include that kind of skills that we are able to defend. Obviously, I totally believe it. If you're not aware about Java, you should not write it in your resume. Okay, but that also means that you should not apply to Java advertised positions. Okay, that is also the case. You should not expect them that they will call you for the interview, right? So that is where you should have realistic expectations, as well as you should write only, or you should like apply to only those jobs that are kind of focused into a field or technology. Okay, so that is what my basic kind of
Uh, what is different in what is our time of screening? Separate resume for separate roles. Don't waste time trying to apply on job posts you have near to zero experience. You will get rejected.
suggestion to you is that let's say that if they want a particular person in a particular tech stack, let's say Python, or let's say that they want that the person should have worked with machine learning, or he should have been exposed to machine learning environment or data science environment. So you should write those things onto your resume. Okay, you should have scenarios that explain that yeah, you are a good fit for the open position. Okay, so one thing is that. The second thing is either you can make a generic profile. Okay, what do I mean by generic profile? If I talk about me, I have worked on backend as well as I have worked on machine learning, as well as I have worked on data engineering, as well as I have worked on full stack. Okay, so when I kind of have my resume, so I write everything in a very concise manner. You have to write everything. Okay, either you make a generic profile or you can say a specialized profile or a specialized resume. My take is that for SD roles, okay, a generalist profile would be fit, because see, the thing is that you are applying to multiple kind of
Oh my god, there are people viewing me. Hello guys. Acha, oh, I got. I thought that views are from my platform, but it's from the Code Ninja Live thing. So
for SD roles. Okay, a generalist profile would be fit, because see, the thing is that you are applying to multiple kind of like positions in within a company. Let's say that Microsoft is hiring, so you will be applying to various positions that are advertised in various teams, right? So that is where a generalist kind of a profile would fit, right? But let's say that if you're applying for a very particular or a niche.
so the key takeaway over here would be generic versus specific goal. Resume generic when SD who what else? DevOps, what else? AIML, what else? Open source, what else?
to multiple kind of like positions in within a company. Let's say that Microsoft is hiring, so you will be applying to various positions that are advertised in various teams, right? So that is where a generalist kind of a profile would fit, right? But let's say that if you are applying for a very particular or a niche team, right?
Where this applies SD role, where can get any position. What else? Specific when
there your personalized resume would suit. Okay, so you have to calculate and you have to take that decision on the ground that yeah, that this is kind of this position will be suitable for my generic resume, and this position will be suitable for my niche resume. So you have to decide that. It's your decision, okay, how you want to progress. But one thing I want to make clear: have multiple resumes, having different projects. Okay, have multiple resumes, having different projects, so that you can showcase better things to different people. Okay, if a company is hiring for PHP and you have worked on PHP but not very recently, but you can you can say that yeah, you are working on PHP and all those things in a separate resume. So have separate resumes for different types of job opportunities. Okay, now let me just quickly share a sample resume that I always share with people. Okay, just give me 1 minute. So let's quickly see like a resume that I want to like make you like aware. Okay, so the thing is that firstly, let's see that if we talk about our normal resume, the normal resume should be in a one-page format, not more than that. Okay, not
I may know this, but one pager.
more than that, and this format is good. It is kind of looking professional at least. Okay, not having a new resume and all those things, but yeah, this kind of plain old resume where you have that where you everything is written in a textual format and indentation is there. This is excellent, and this should be followed. Okay, now in the starting, what you should have your name highlighted in a very capital letter. Okay, saying that your identification marks, your location, your current location. Okay, either it is Bangalore or either it is Hyderabad, either it is Delhi. Okay, I would say that make three resumes. Okay, having different locations. Okay, because some companies are very finicky. They want that a person, if he's applying for like a location, he's applying for a job that is in Bangalore, so he should be based on Bangalore only. Okay, some companies are very finicky, and these type of companies account for 30 to 40% of the total companies. Okay, I'll tell you one story. So actually, there was a company, there was a startup, so that was located in Bangalore, and that time I was working in Delhi. So they told me that you have to relocate, and yeah, everything was there. But in the end, they just rejected me because citing that you are not in Bangalore, and we cannot pay like relocation bonus to you, right? So we are preferring candidates who are already in Bangalore. Okay, so it's better that you have like location identified very clearly, bonus to you, right? And your resume will get screened in, right? So if a company is hardly saying it's a hard requirement for them that they would only prefer a candidate who is in Bangalore, so you should include your current location as Bangalore.
So another point is position. If Bangalore based, put your address as well. What else?
Like obviously
I'm searching for the free resources account. What resume? Again, this is okay. This is also done. This is my dashboard, man. Hmm.
you will say that yeah, it's not good or like that, but only these kind of things will make your resume shortlisted. If your current location is not not that great thereof, then your resume will not get shortlisted, unfortunately. Okay, so just be mindful of these kind of things that I want to share. Okay, so then there is like what after your location you have your like phone numbers or your like how different people would identify you. Firstly the phone number, the second is the email, okay, and third is the LinkedIn. Okay, now if you have some GitHub profiles, if you have some good profiles or good coding profiles, you can also include that. Okay, you can also include your GitHub profile, your lead code profile, or sorry, your any type of profile that you want to include. Okay, any type of profile that you may want to include, you can include it. Okay, any type of profile. Okay, now the second section is that your education section. Okay, so education comes in, and the first you will write either you have done your PG or UG. Okay, the graduation level that you have done, and the second thing that is optional. So 12th and 10th, it's optional if you want to write it. Okay, one important feedback that I gave him was that see, the thing is that you don't have good marks in your 10th and 12th. Okay, now there are some people who will reject you. Obviously, it's very irritating, but this is the sad reality of the industry. Okay, some people also, some senior folks also reject you based on your 12th and 10th performance. Okay, so the thing is that why to mention this? Why to mention 10th and 12th? Okay, your UG is only mentioned. Your UG should only count, and it is only enough. Okay, so there is no need to have 10th and 12th mentioned in your education section. Either if like if and all you have scored exceptional marks and good marks, 90+% you have scored in both of them. Okay, it's good to mention. Okay, so you can just mention it. Otherwise, I don't see that you should mention. I don't see that you should mention them. Okay, I don't see that you should mention 10 your 10th and 12th. Okay.
Okay. No need to mention negative like bad mark. What else?
So this is fine. Education section is fine. After the education section comes your experience section. Okay, so experience, you have the name of the company that you will be writing. Let's say that he was working in Dish Network Technologies. Okay, so what was your title? He was working as a software development engineer. Then what was the tech stack? Clearly, he has mentioned that he has worked in Golang, C++, machine learning, and Python. Now, what will happen is that the algorithms that, like you can say, that are used for resume passing will treat this as keywords. Okay, or like they have a matcher that will just assign the score. So how many times Golang has used and where all, what is the context of that? Either it is used in a project or either it is used like in the known technologies. Based on that, it will assign you score and weights. Okay, every resume that happens is assigned a score and a weight after the processing. Okay, the best thing that is there is that you should mention the required tech stack, and you should also include that in the in your project description. If you have said that you have worked with Golang, so just explain or just write some projects on Golang that you have worked with Golang. Either you can write, either you can say that, or either you can mention that you have worked with machine learning. So you should mention that, yeah, like these are my projects on machine learning, or you can mention that these are my projects on Python, and like that. Okay, because you want to increase the score. Okay, that is where you should kind of work on that. Okay, now once you have said that what are the tech stack that you use, the time duration, okay, the location of the company, and all those things. Similarly for this, so as he was a recent grad, because I took his interview in 2022, so he was kind of like he also has mentioned his internship experience. Now internship experience is optional. Okay, so you can mention it or not mention it, it's fine. Okay, so just see how he has mentioned his experience. So every experience that you have to do, whatever you did in that particular company, you have to write it in a very concise manner. So let's see what is written. So working on Rails and Metabase data analysis and preparing using SQL and generated nearly 70 to 80 reports and dashboards in a short span of time. So basically in a project or in your experience, what all you have to mention? You have to mention what impact did you make, what contributions, key contributions, any notable achievements. Okay, and let's say that before your before your contribution.
Okay, so this is quite interesting. I remember engineering with Utsav is one point. Let's go there. Engineering with Utsav. Resume. Hmm, Software engineers stop worrying about layoffs. How to write it. This was also quite good material. So he have released two videos more. So what else? This is also nice to get
The system is
industry
performing at this
information.
rate. Okay, and after the contribution, the system is performing at this rate. The percentages you have to mention, or the numbers you have to mention. Okay, so we'll see. He has included a project where we'll see what I mean. Okay, now after your experience, this is an optional section. You can just
Okay. So what else should I
contribution.
read?
The system is performing at this rate. Okay, and after the contribution, the system is performing at this rate. The percentages you have to mention, or before your contribution, you have to mention. Okay, so we'll see. He has included a project where we'll see what I mean. Okay, now after your experience, this is an optional section. Impact did you make and then size manner. So let's see what is written. So working on Rails and Metabase data analysis and prepare. All you have to mention. You have to mention what impact did you make, what contributions, key contributions, any
What in what points to add in experience, contribution, achievement, what else?
in a project or in your experience, what all you have to mention. You have to mention what impact did you make, what contributions, key contributions, any notable
Contribution, impact,
achievements. Okay, and let's say that before your before your contribution, the system was performing at this rate. Okay, and after the contribution, the system is performing at this rate.
statistics. Yes.
The percentages you have to mention, or the numbers you have to mention. Okay, so we'll see. He has included a project where we'll see what I mean. Okay, now after your experience, this is an optional section. You can just write the courses, or people write the certifications. You can write the courses and different types of certification that you might have done. Okay, this is totally optional. Okay, he has just written his CS4 or whatever might have been taught to him in his BTech. So he has just written that. He has just written data structures, object oriented, and all those things. That is optional to write. It is not mandatory, but it's optional. Okay, now let's see what he has written. So right now, so this is a very important section. Projects. Okay, so these projects would be scanned by the hiring managers and the directors in a very good manner. So you should only include that kind of thing that you can defend in your interviews. Okay, or by senior engineers, it would be kind of very like it would be a talking point of your interview.
There is projects will be talking point of interview.
Okay, in a cultural fit or in a like in Google, there is a Googleness round. So Googleness talks about all the projects only and your notable contribution. Okay, so only include that kind of thing that you can defend in your interviews. Okay, or by senior engineers, it would be kind of very good manner. So very important section. Projects. Okay, so these projects would be scanned by the hiring managers and the directors in a very good manner. So you should only include that kind of thing that you can defend in your interview.
Most conversation related to project. mm, projects will be rotated a lot.
interviews. Okay, or by senior engineers, it would be kind of very like it would be a talking point of your interview. Okay, in a cultural fit or in a like in Google, there is a Googleness round. So Googleness talks about all the projects only and your notable contribution.
Culture fit or googliness round.
Okay, so these projects will be kind of like taken up, and everything that you have done, you have to explain that step by step. Okay, so only you have right, only you only write that thing that you can defend during the interview, and never kind of like never write superficial things, or never inflate, or never kind of write the things that you have never done in your resume. Because the thing is that if interview catches you, or if a senior interviewer catches you, okay, it would be straight rejection for anybody. Okay, never write anything that you have not done. Okay, so let's
Telling lies is okay. Example, if you started working on some tech, you can say you you can say you are having you can say a lie like you are having more than 1 year of experience. But there's a big but over here. I feel it was a dirty joke. Uh, what is the but? The but is that you can't defend it when asked questions. Avoid. Let's make it capital. Avoid.
see how he has written projects. Only 2 to 3 points are necessary, whatever projects you have written. So see, so he has written that, let's say that we talk about this federated learning, secure aggregation and privacy preserving. So what he has done. Okay, so he's saying experimentation with communication efficient algorithms and federated optimization and heterogeneous networks. Okay, so this is a machine learning project that he is trying to do, and he was like saying he's saying that did, what type of technology he used. So hyperparameters to get federated system convergence point for alpha 0.1. Okay, these are some very technical terms. Like 95% of the people will not understand, but yeah, he's saying that he has done a project in machine learning. Okay, and he has taken this data set, and what was the like what contribution did he did? So compare the performance on various IDs and non-ID data set. Performance was better on ID data set. This is his findings. Okay, cross silo federated learnings and all those things. Okay, so what he did and what was his contribution. Okay, just see one.
So what I am thinking is web app AIML. I should have experience in all of this. Yes. Let's first conquer this till June, April, May, June. Yes, till June. After which we can delve into this later on. Let's go and check it later on. Yes, that's the right plan because currently the main priorities are DSA, both and what else? This operating system, networking and web. इतना कर लिया ना तो बस है यार छोड़ के आ जाए बेस्ट होना चाहिए अपना अगर बेस्ट नहीं हुआ ना तो एक्स्ट्रा सब टी स्किल्स ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डीएसए वो सब तो मेन से इतना डीप में जाना चाहिए ना ये कोई ना ना पार सके तो अपना फर्स्ट हो गया फिर प्रोजेक्ट्स बता देंगे इंटरव्यू में एक या फिर दो भी अगर अच्छे तक हुए ना बस है फिर आगे एसडी रोल के बाद देख सकते हैं कि कोई स्पेसिफिक रोल में जाना है कि नहीं तभी एआईएमएल वो सब काम होगा वरना तो कुछ काम नहीं देखते हैं। वो टाइम के हिसाब से पता चलता है लेट टाइम डिसाइड अभी तो अपन जितना है उसमें बेस्ट है तो चलो
one more thing. This is kind of a full stack project. So what he has just done, so he has also done connected optimization, connected nodes, cost optimization, and connected nodes. Okay, what all the technologies he has used, JavaScript, React.js, React algorithm. Okay, what he did in that project, 2 lines only he has just written, and a very concise manner. You have to explain your resume. So he has just written optimize the cost of a network where node consisting of the sender and the recipient is and third party that is analogous to the food delivery system. So this is a typical problem of for any type of food startups. Okay, we'll talk about that some day later. But yeah, this he has tried to solve a food delivery problem. Okay, that is what to solve, want to say. Okay, okay, so that is where that is where like you can just understand, you can just say by the like what is the perception that I want to give here is that for a project, 3 things are very, you have to explain everything in 2 to 3 pointers or maximum 4 pointers, and you maximum have to say that what was your contribution, how did you make notable achievements, and what was the performance, how did you make the performance better.
Same for project and what experience. There is experience for project man.
Okay, and what technology stack did you use and how did you solve the problem? In everything you need to mention in 3 points or 4 points, maximum 4 points. Okay, so that is where like you have to make that. And technical skills is like in the last section. You can also include notable achievements, you can also include awards, you can also include your personal or extra curricular skills that you do. And this would be the, after this section would be followed. Okay, but not that only, you have to include everything in 1 page. Only 1 page is necessary. Okay, so that is what is about a resume. Okay, now I'm open for questions, or sorry, I would give the stage back to the moderator. Okay, like she can come into the picture. And yeah, please.
Sure. Thank you, Pratap. All right, so just to make sure everybody is understanding about what is Coding Windows, who's Coding Windows, what is Coding Windows platform name and link, that I've already shared in the chat box for everyone. So that is Code Studio, which is one of the platforms for Coding Windows, where you can have your learning, you can have contest and events, you can have interview preparation, certain practice sets, any resources that you require in order sitting in their interviews. Okay, so support of 3 people throughout your journey would be there. One would be your placement coordinator, other would be your relationship manager, and the third would be your teaching assistant, who will be taking your live doubts. For time being, I'm putting in the chat box again, and I'm continuously writing in the chat box so that you guys can understand this theory. Live doubt support you're getting between 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. from your teaching assistant. Again, the mode of communication could be audio calls, video calls, and chat process as well, and the communication language could be Hindi.
Okay, so this was it. Thank you guys for being with me. Next time we will go into this all of these things. Ideal investing model for anyone working that. This is what I'm interested in. What else? Who's that? I found the next topic for our video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. These were the 12 points I liked from the video. You can pause it and take a note. Till then, bye bye.